This program will help you become successful. Because they don't just talk about drugs, you talk about other things too, right? And they're all important, all the things that he taught you. So I want you to take it to heart. He's done an excellent job with this program. We are very fortunate to have Officer Clutis with us. And I just can't thank him enough. So let's give Officer Clutis a big hand for the great job. And with that, I know you don't want to hear any more from me, but I want to reintroduce Officer Clutis to you. He has a few words that he wants to say to start the program on. Officer Clutis.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Moore. Good morning, everyone. Excuse me for sounding a little bit hoarse this morning. I think I'm coming down with the flu or something. But before I start making any comments, I'd like to read a little joke that I found in Reader's Digest the other day, and I think you'll find it humorous too. It goes like this. It says a group of prospective jurors was asked by the judge whether any of them felt they had ever been treated unfairly by an officer of the law, a police officer. Well, I once got a ticket for running a stop sign, offered one woman, even though I definitely came to a complete stop. Did you pay the ticket? The judge questioned. Yes. Well, if you thought you were innocent, the judge went on, why didn't you contest it? Well, Your Honor, she replied, there have been so many times I didn't get a ticket for running a stop sign that I figured this evened things out a little bit. So, again, good morning. My name is Officer Chris Clutis. I'm obviously a police officer with Prince William County Police Department. These past 16 weeks, I have been the DARE instructor, the DARE officer assigned to the school. We have gone over so many things. We have learned so much. Before I go into more of the detail of what we've gone over in the DARE program, I'd like to talk a little bit about the DARE program, those of you that are not familiar with it. DARE is an acronym that stands for Drug Abuse Resistance Education. And it is a drug abuse prevention education program. It is designed to equip elementary school children with skills for resisting peer pressure to experiment with tobacco, drugs, and alcohol. It was originally developed in 1983 as a cooperative effort of the Los Angeles Police Department and the Los Angeles Unified School District. And this unique program uses law enforcement officers, like myself, to teach a formal curriculum to classroom students. DARE gives a special attention to fifth graders to prepare these students for entry into junior high, middle school in this case, in this county, and high school where they are most likely to encounter pressures to use drugs. The basic precept of the DARE program is that elementary school children lack sufficient social skills to resist peer pressure to say no to drugs. While DARE instructors do not use the scare tactics of traditional approaches that focus on the dangers of drug use. Instead, the instructors teach children a variety of techniques to resist peer pressure. As a result of the instruction, children gain a good judgment by learning skills in assertiveness, self-esteem, and decision-making, and are given alternatives to tobacco, alcohol, and drug use. And uniformed law officers, as DARE instructors, not only are good role models for impressionable children, but also have the credibility on the subject of drug use. And moreover, by relating to students in a role other than that of law enforcement, officers develop a good rapport that promotes positive attitudes toward the police and a greater respect for the law. In DARE, we've learned of many different things. We've talked about the effects of drugs. We've learned of the consequences, peer pressures, ways to say no, how important it is to maintain a good self-esteem, of course, for a drug-free life, how to resolve disagreements without resulting to violence, how to make the right decision when faced with a risky situation. We learned of the importance of positive alternative activities, and we learned about gangs and the consequences of joining. Some students come up to me and they say, well, Officer Clutis, do we really need to learn about gangs this early? You know, I'm only 10 or 11. Well, the recruiting age for gangs, for kids into gangs, is much lower than that. And yes, we definitely need to learn about gangs. If you look at your program, we have quite a few things lined up for today. Sergeant Julian Gonzalez is here with us, to my left here. He's an outstanding person, he's an outstanding Marine, and he's also an outstanding DARE officer. He has helped me tremendously these past few weeks, substituting for me at times when I had to go through special training, when I couldn't do my classes. He didn't substitute in this school for me, but he substituted in two of my other schools. His daughter is going to be graduating from Vaughn Elementary School next year, and he has dedicated his time to teaching there full-time next year, since his daughter is going to be graduating from Vaughn Elementary School. And he's also taught there in California, Irvine. He's also taught there in Japan, and as I gathered from him, he's very proud to be a DARE officer. We will also give out the best DARE essay graduates or best DARE essay writers a medal today and a separate certificate recognizing them for their outstanding work in writing essays. We picked an essay winner from each class, at least I thought I was going to, and then I got so many essays, so many great essays that some classes I had to pick 2 essay winners, so that's why we have 6 and we only have 4 4th grade classes here in the school. We have, 5th grade classes, I'm sorry. So we're going to be reading the essays, and then we're going to be giving all the 5th grade DARE graduates their certificates. And I understand we're going to be doing a song, also the DARE song that the kids have practiced. Also, if those of you that have noticed the DARE Corvette outside, I brought that with me, that is a drug seizure car that was seized in 1988, I believe. And we turned it into a police car. It says DARE on it. We're dedicated to the DARE program. And the message behind this car is that if you use drugs, not only are you going to harm yourself, you're going to hurt your family, the people you love the most, but you're also going to lose everything that can be associated to the purchase of drug, with drug money. And that was the case with this car, which was paid in full with drug money. And that came to the police department. So we're going to see that after the graduation. Hopefully we'll get a few extra minutes. I know Ms. Jones wants the keys to the Corvette for just a few minutes to ride in it. She's expressed an interest in that. Okay. All right. Let's start off with Sergeant Julian Gonzalez. Let's give him a hand.
Wow, what an exciting day. I know all the 5th graders are very excited about today. And they probably told you stories over the last 16 weeks about their involvement in the DARE program. Before I start, I'd like to thank Officer Kaludis because he's the drive behind the whole program. Not only is he a police officer, but he's a DARE officer. And when you say DARE officer, there's a whole lot more to it than just coming to the schools and teaching the program. The kids need a role model in every school, and Officer Kaludis is that role model that I've seen in Prince William County. Not only does Officer Kaludis raise his own family, enforce the law, sometimes he has to testify in court, and sometimes he has to re-qualify with his service weapon. And all these things are things that people don't realize, maybe the students don't realize. So it takes a big effort and a big dedication for Officer Kaludis to come and make this program what it is. 5th graders, I'm focusing on you right now. You're all very privileged to be living in a community like this. I mean, people like Officer Kaludis, your parents, school like Minnieville, this community is what makes the whole DARE program work, because the DARE program consists of police, parents, and school, and that's what makes it an effective program. So you all should be very, very thankful today for the volunteerism, and also for the parents who came today to take time off their busy schedules, find babysitters, or get off work to come and attend the DARE graduation this morning. Over the last 16 weeks, as Officer Kaludis has mentioned, you've learned a lot of things. And I'd like to tell the parents, in the DARE curriculum, this last 16 weeks, only one of those lessons actually focuses on saying no to drugs. A lot of the other lessons are related to other skills that these children need, not only when they get into middle school and high school and college, but also in life, such as dealing with peer pressure, how to deal with stress, the right way, the wrong way, what good stress is and what bad stress is, and also resisting gangs, or just to name a few. So the DARE program is things about life in general, and no better person than Officer Kaludis to come in and teach these lessons to the children. In my normal job, I'm a criminal investigator. And I'll tell you, I've been doing that over my 16 years of Marine Corps law enforcement. What my job consists of is doing an investigation and then later on identifying someone who's involved in a crime. And usually those people that we identify are civilians that were probably bad people when they came into the Marine Corps. They come into the Marine Corps, they make mistakes, do something wrong, and then eventually we kick them out of the Marine Corps into society again. Well, those people, I feel we can't change. They've already made a decision in their life. They're going to do wrong things, whether they come in the Marine Corps or whether they get out. And I really don't have self-fulfillment in a job like that. But when I became a DARE officer in 1991, as Officer Kalutis had mentioned, I've taught DARE in Japan, I've taught DARE in Southern California, and now I'm helping here in Virginia. Just about every place I've been since 1991. And I really believe that an officer coming in and talking to the schools is the whole key to stomping these drugs out. And what I tell my students is that demand reduction is the key. Meaning that it wouldn't matter if there were 10 drug dealers came on this school today and tried to sell their drugs. If the students didn't buy the drugs, they would have to go somewhere else and sell those drugs, and eventually put them out of business. So demand reduction is the key. And demand reduction is all encompasses the DARE program and other similar type programs. So that's the way I feel about it. And I really feel when I break away from my office, put my uniform on, and come and talk to the kids, that I really do something fulfilling, that I can go home and say, I've done something today, I made a difference. You know, one time when I was in Japan, because Japan is relatively a safe place, and there's very limited use of drugs there in the country. I was approached by a mother who was outside of a class that I was getting ready to go into and teach the DARE program. And the mother approached me and said, you know, why do you teach DARE here? There's no drugs in Japan. There's no gangs in Japan. It's particularly on our base, it's a very controlled environment. And what I told her is the way I really feel. You know, I've been involved in the DARE program since 1991, as I mentioned. And I will continue to stay involved with the DARE program as long as I can. But over the years and years and the many DARE classes that I've taught, if I have saved or turned one person around, I have done my job. Okay, so that's the way I feel about the program. I feel any time that we can get in the classroom and talk with the kids about these issues, it makes a difference. Even if it makes a difference just for one student, it turns that student's life around. I'd like to share a story with you in closing. And the story is labeled The Fable of the Snake. And it goes like this. Many years ago, Indian youths would go away in solitude to prepare for manhood. One such youth hiked into a beautiful valley with green trees and bright flowers. There, this one youth fasted. But on the third day, as he looked up at the surrounding mountains, he noticed a tall, rugged peak, capped with dazzling snow. I will test myself against that mountain, he thought to himself. He put on his buffalo hide shirt, threw his blanket over his shoulders, and set off to climb the peak. When he reached the top, he stood on the rim of the world. He could see forever, and his heart swelled with pride. Then he heard a rustle at his feet, and when he looked down, he saw a snake. It was a rattlesnake. Before he could even move, the snake spoke to him and said, "I'm about to die," said the snake. "It is too cold for me up here, and I am freezing, and there is no food for me, and I am starving." "Please," the snake begged, "put me under your shirt and take me down to the valley, otherwise I will die." "No, no," said the youth, "I'm fair warned. I know your kind. You are a rattlesnake, and if I pick you up, you will bite me, and your bite will kill me." "Not so," said the snake. "I will treat you differently. If you do this for me, you will be special to me, and I will not harm you, because you will save my life." Well, the youth resisted for a while, but this was a very persuasive snake with beautiful markings on its body. Finally, the youth picked up the snake, tucked it under his shirt, and carried it down to the valley. There he laid the snake gently on the grass. Then suddenly the snake coiled, rattled, and struck the youth, biting him on the leg. "But you promised," cried the youth. "Ah, you know what I was when you picked me up," said the snake, as it slithered away into the valley. I like telling the story, especially to graduating DARE students, because I want you to remember that message the snake said. You knew what I was when you picked me up. And I'll tell you, there's a lot of different ways that different drug dealers and different people, sometimes your own friends, will try to persuade you to try and experiment with drugs. Remember, you know what drugs are. We've taught you this. You know what's right and what's wrong. Do not pick up that snake. Do not pick up those drugs, because they will strike back. Thank you.
Okay, now we'll call on the essay winners. I know they're very eager to come up here. Maybe a little bit shy too. Let's start off with Mary Day. Mary?
Taking a stand. Hi, my name is Mary Day. I have learned many important lessons this year in the DARE program. It is a known fact that drugs and violence ruin lives. Just by watching the evening news, we can see this for ourselves. You can get in a lot of trouble for doing drugs. You can get in a lot of trouble for being in a gang too. One reason why the DARE program is so important is that education is the first step in being drug-free. As a soon-to-be teenager, I know that being drug-free is the only way to be. I will never abuse my mind and body by using drugs. If everyone would resist drugs, this world would be a better place. It is also important to avoid anyone pressuring you to do drugs. Hang out with non-users. They are your true friends. I can use this information throughout my whole life. I am very, very proud of myself because I do not do drugs. I promise never to do drugs. Thank you, Officer Kalutis, for taking the time to teach us about drugs, violence, and gangs. You are great.
Erica Green.
Taking a Stand by Erica Green. DARE this year was a great influence on me as well as for my classmates. The program taught us about self-respect. It also taught us about the types of drugs and gangs that are here in our communities and throughout the country that we may not be aware of. Officer Kalutis, our DARE officer, also spoke to us about the 4 different types of pressure and the 8 ways to say no. Officer Kalutis taught us about liking ourselves for who we are instead of being someone we are. I think it is important for us DARE students to learn about this at an early stage in life. If we don't, people may influence us and steer us in the wrong directions in life. Who knows? There could be a famous athlete or a Hollywood actor or actress in here. However, if these people take the wrong path, their lives can lead to gangs, violence, drugs, or even death. Their careers will be down the drain. But if they have a good understanding of the DARE program, they will continue to be good role models. Also, as we watch these role models, we become better role models for the younger students at many of them. Then we 5th graders can carry on our knowledge to our middle and high school years of our life. Now as for me, I promise to respect my rights as well as my classmates' rights. I will stay a DARE student throughout my life. I will spread the word of good health to everyone so that they can stay drug-free and violence-free. I am so glad that we had someone like Officer Kalutis to tell us and warn us about these obstacles in life so we can be ready for them when they come to us in life. We can all be winners in the war against drugs.
Jacob Groh.
Taking a Stand by Jacob Groh. I feel that the DARE program is one of the best programs ever invented. It is so great, in fact, that now I know what drugs can do to you, and for that, I will never use drugs my entire life. Not one single person in this world should be denied of this education. Of all the things I'll learn in this world, I know that this is one of the most important things. Just say no. Something as simple as 3 words is probably one of the most important things I'll ever learn in my entire life. In this program, I've learned what drugs, violence, and gangs can do to you, such as with drugs, all of your dreams and all of your hopes are smashed right in front of your face. Some people say with your mind anything's possible. Well, I say with drugs, nothing's possible. Also, I've learned a lot of things about gangs, such as did you know the average living age of a gang member is 25 years of age? I know now I'm not going to join a gang ever. How about you? Life's too short. Why make it shorter? It is so important to be drug-free and avoid violence. Once you start using drugs, it is almost impossible to stop. One way to avoid all this is to never start. I know now that I will never use drugs for belong to a gang. Remember, drug-free is the way to be, and also just say no.
Jarvis Lonzo, you want to come here, please?
Taking a stand. I like the DARE program because you get prizes. It teaches you how to stay drug-free, and it makes you think what's going to happen to you if you did drugs. Another thing it teaches you is not to join a gang because a gang can hurt you. I've learned that drugs can hurt you very bad. I learned that a chemical such as glue, gasoline, or about 2,000 other dangerous chemicals, which is used for sniffing or huffing to get high. I also learned that cocaine is usually snorted through the nose, but can also be snorted through the nose, but can also be smoked in the form of crack or rock. If someone is pressuring you about drugs or alcohol, you should talk to your counselor or your parents. If you get hurt, you could get hurt if you do drugs, and you could ruin your life. If you see someone doing drugs, turn around and find a different way to go home. Or go back to school and call your parents to come pick you up. If you see a gang, don't go by them because they can hurt you. Also, if you see somebody doing graffiti, just turn around and walk away. I would not do drugs or smoke cigarettes. I would not join a gang because I could get hurt. Also, I am going to have a drug-free life.
Good morning, fellow students, teachers, and parents. The title of my essay is Taking a Stand. Hi, I'm Wendy Torres, and I'm going to tell you about a cool guy named Officer Kalutis and the awesome program he teaches called DARE. I think DARE is a great program because it teaches you the truth about drugs, gangs, and violence. Officer Kalutis makes the program fun by telling us stories, giving us brain teasers and prizes, and giving us a chance to win DARE. DARE means Drug Abuse Resistance Education. Here are some things I learned in DARE. A drug is any substance other than food that can affect the way your mind and body work. Nicotine is a highly addictive substance found in cigarettes. Marijuana is a mind-altering drug, and cocaine is a highly addictive stimulant. I think it's important to be drug-free because everyone should have the right to be somebody and not a drug addict. I have learned the real truth about drugs and know their fatal truth. If I can, and you can, then everybody can promise to stay drug-free. Thank you.
Sean Griffin.
Taking a stand. Hello, my name is Sean Griffin. I'm in the DARE program. I want to tell you about the DARE program and what I've learned and what I think about it. I think the DARE program is great for young kids. DARE teaches kids to stay away from drugs, violence, and gangs. DARE also teaches kids to keep their self-esteem high, not low. And DARE, I learned many ways to stay drug-free and avoid violence. I want to stay drug-free because if I take drugs, I might get sick, die, or something else bad might happen. I want to avoid violence because I might get hurt or somebody else might get hurt. I think it is important to stay drug-free and avoid violence because of many things. I want to stay drug-free because I might have a longer life. I also want to stay drug-free because I'll be my normal self, and if I take drugs, I will act differently. I think it's important to avoid violence because I don't want to end up in jail or hurt somebody. The DARE program has taught me a lot about drugs and violence, so I promise to stay drug-free and violence-free for the rest of my life. I want to stay drug-free and avoid violence so I can live a safer, happier life.
Okay, let's give them all a hand. Okay, now we'll give out the DARE certificates. Should we start with the closest class? Is that yours, Ms. Jones? Ms. Walker, let's start with Ms. Walker's class then. Giving out the certificates. I've got them right here.
We're waiting. Excuse me. Okay, when I call your name, would you please come up and get your certificate?
And also, when you come up here, shake our hands, and let's form 2 or 3 lines right here for each class, in case the parents want to take pictures of the class together.
Jason Abbott. When we hold our applause to the end, boys and girls, thank you. Jeremy Anderson. Jessica Brown. Tiffany Cheatham. Vincent Griffin. Stephanie Franklin. Diana Haggerty. Erica Haynes. Jarrell Jenkins. Tyrone Johnson. Our essay winner, Jarvis Lonzo. Jaquay McNeil. Jennifer Morgan. Camille Munoz. Jennifer Ade. Aaron Olander. Vanessa Palencia. Christian Riddle. Katie Steele. Our other essay winner, Wendy Torres. Okay. And Crystal Wilson. Good job, boys and girls. Ladies, thank you. Karen Alvarado, Christopher Barrett,
Quincy Burrell, Ashley Brown, Ashley Byram, Samantha Carano, Anthony Chappelle, Daniel Colbert, Mary Day, our essay winner, Megan Day, Jessica Drenning, Micah Flynn, Felicia Foster, Danielle Grant, Erica Green, our other essay winner, Shala Islam, she's not here today. Okay. Thomas Llewellyn, Timothy Powers, Mario Ortiz, Terrell Woods, Giovanni Wright, Jonathan Zimbro.
My class, Jeffrey Bell, Latoya Bryant, Saad Chaudhry, Donald Duncan, Melissa Fleming, Kiana Floyd, Kevin Freeman, Sean Griffin, Rebecca Harney, Sky Harris, Denise Jackson, Shaf Malik, Stephanie Mertz could be here today, Tammy Peterbar, Jay Palmerville, Erica Rhodes, Jennifer Ribbler, Aaron Ryder, Cameron Van Dyke, Dawn Vincent, and Sultan Wijwad.
Okay, next class is going to be Miss Lewis's class.
Raquel Bates. Angelica Burks. Brittany Kremen. Laura Fritzinger. Lisa Furlong. My essay winner, Jacob Group. Ashley Harrison. Brittany Kendrick. Sam Lawson. Sohee Lee. Dante McGee. Amarildo Mija. Nana Osinti. Natalie Piper. Lakeisha Pratt. Lisette Ramirez. Solomon Rice. Morgan Shiflett. Griselda Schudemeyer. Brian Irvin. And Jorge Ventura.
The fifth grade teachers, Ms. Walker, Ms. Jones, and Mr. McNamara, would you like to come up here, please? I just want to thank the fifth grade teachers again for doing such a wonderful job. Without their support, this program would not have been so successfully completed. Their support in the program was outstanding, as it was last year. I've taught here, I think, 2 years in a row, and both years have been great because the fifth grade teachers make it great. They help me out a lot with the teaching of the program. And just a token of my appreciation, I've got a little, I guess, gift for them. Ms. Walker, thank you very much. Ms. Jones, Ms. Lewis, and Mr. McNamara. Thank you again. Let's give them a hand, please. Ms. Jones is eager to come up here and do this DARE song for us. I know they've practiced and they've done an excellent job. Let's do that right now. Any particular order you want to?
Yeah, actually, what I would like to do first is have the DARE essay winners stand up and stack your chairs over to the side, and then I'll call Miss Lewis's class up first, please, and then my class up first. Please leave your certificates on the floor.
Okay, it's important that we keep your noise down so you can understand Ms. Jones's directions. So please just cooperate with Ms. Jones so you can listen to what she's saying. Sorry, I can't hear you. Okay, please turn around and face Ms. Jones. Thank you. Yes, I do. Ms. Jones? Could you give everybody kind of a...
Settle down, please. Okay, that was very nice. Thank you all for doing that for us. In closing, I'd like to read a poem that is called Commitment to Success. It was written by a police officer, actually a marshal, His name is Larry Garrison. He's also a DARE officer, and he's in Texaco, New Mexico. And it goes like this. We sit in the dark, guns ready to go. We're taking this house that's been selling kids blow. I look at my partners left and right side. We're all getting ready for a heck of a ride. Before the command to take the house down, I think of these dealers and hold back a frown. To see a boy's bike and a small child's trike, I know for sure this raid I'll dislike. I think of the kids that I taught DARE, and hope this summer, they all are aware I made a commitment to teach them to say no. It's not the kid's fault some parents sell blow. It's middle of night, we're all dressed in black. I hope we find their large stash of crack. We get the green light and all start to run. I think to myself, this is not fun. A window is broken, a flashbang is thrown. I hope to myself, the kids are not home. We break down the door with weapons all aimed and hope these people don't think it's a game. 2 children are found, a girl and a boy. The look on their faces bring no officer joy. To know they will leave with a stranger tonight. I look in their eyes and recognize fright. A phone call is made, a lady is sent. I wonder where their next night will be spent. I look at the children with tears in my eyes and wish I had been there to change their small lives. Later that morning, I finished my report. A few weeks later, I'm sitting in court. The parents are sentenced to the state pen. Who knows when they'll see those children again. I sit back and wonder how the kids are. I recall the look they gave from the car. I go home to my family and hug them real tight. I thank the good Lord I raised my kids right. I sit in the class and start to prepare for kids who will come and want to learn DARE. The teacher informs me we have a new kid. I look across the room, he has his face hid. I start my lesson on ways to say no. I look at the new kid, his face starts to glow. I pause for a moment and stare at his face. I know this kid, but can't remember the place. The lesson is over, we learn to say no. The school bell rings out, the kids start to go. I look at the new kid who sits all alone. I remember that night, I raided his home. He gets up from his desk and walks my way. I think to myself, God, what will I say? The boy comes to me with tears in his eyes. He says, thank you, officer, for saving our lives. He gives me a hug and squeezes real tight. I realize just then his life will be right. I know now the meaning of a word called success by helping a child whose life was a mess. Thank you very much. Again, I'd like to thank all the 5th grade teachers, the school staff, the volunteer parents who did so much for us. I understand we're going to have some cake and some drinks in the back there, some refreshments. And then after that, I guess we can go and see the Corvette. Again, thank you all. And also the PTA, I'd like to thank the PTA for purchasing the t-shirts. Thank you.
Okay, 4th grade, if you all, before the 5th graders get up, the 4th grade teachers go and take their students back to class. Hopefully all of you up here, because that's their objective, to help all of you to be successful. So let's all make sure we work for that. So let's make sure that we congratulate everyone who received something today. Now the teachers may ask you to wait to hold your applause, but let's make sure we make them feel welcome. Okay, teachers, I will warn you that this thing is on a blink every now and then, so kind of be careful with it. Sometimes it'll cut out on us, okay? Our first awards are for specialists. I see Ms. Dowdell has some awards, so I'm going to call Ms. Dowdell first.
Okay, my class, we have Dante McGee. Ildi Mija. Nana Osenty. Raquel Bates. And Lisette Ramirez.
Okay, our next presenter is Ms. Scheid. She is substituting for Ms. Bush, so let's make sure we're...
Okay. As always, I'm very proud of all my Shining Star students. So when I call your name, please come up and get this award, and please clap for them once they're all up here. Okay? Karen Alvarado, Quincy Burrell, Ashley Byron, but she's absent today, unfortunately. Samantha Carano, who just came back from vacation. No, she was absent all last week, so we're glad you're back. Anthony Chappelle, Mary Day, Jessica Drenny, Michael Flynn, Felicia Foster, Charlotte Islam, Timothy Powers, Giovanni Wright, and Terrell Woods. Please give them a round of applause.
Mrs. Hart. Okay, do we have any other awards before I start giving out the perfect attendance? Now, one thing that I do want to compliment all of you on is the way that you've been an excellent audience and very respectful of your classmates. I really do appreciate that. You're setting an excellent example for the rest of the school. Okay, perfect attendance, and I'm going to tell you that this perfect attendance is a tough thing to get these days. Last week we had over 50 children out each day. So that tells you how the flu's been going around. So people have earned this award. This 9 weeks, the next 9 weeks we'll be doing something. From Ms. Pollock's class, Adam Bradford. Tyrene James' class, Jarrell Jenkins. Christian Riddle. Diana Haggerty. Jason Abbott. Camille Munoz. Tyrone Johnson. And Tiffany Cheatham. Ms. Walker's make sure you sign them. They've got a signature on them. Let's give them a big hand. Ms. Lewis's class, Solomon Rice. Tiffany Lane. Look at Chip Brown. Nana. Jolie Mihal. And Ashley Harris. Give them all a big hand. From Mr. Mack's class, Shaf Malik, Cameron Van Dyke. Make sure we're a good audience. You're doing a good job. Let's keep it up. Aaron Ryder, Jenny Ribbler, Jay Palmerville, Tammy Peterbar, Tanita Jackson. Mr. Mack, you must have some special pills. Sean Griffin, Kevin Freeman, Saad Chaudhry. Great job, folks. Let's give these folks Mr. Mack's hand. Ms. Jones, Christopher Barrett, Daniel Covert, Giovanni Wright, Terrell Woods, Mario Ortiz. I'll spit it out in a minute. Felicia Foster. And Karen Alvarado. Let's give our perfect attendance award winners a big hand. Nice job. Okay, these are our green and gold honor roll winners from 4th grade. Daniel Covert. Megan Day. Erica Green. Christopher Barrett. From Mr. Mack's class, Shaf Malik. Shaf Malik, excuse me. Sean Griffin. Melissa Fleming. From Ms. Walker's class, Stephanie Frank. Frank? We need to get that spelling corrected on this, Stephanie. Jason Abbott. Jennifer O'Day. Camille Munoz. Tiffany Cheatham. Jessica Brown. Ms. Lewis's class, Brian Urbine. Solomon Rice. Lisa Furlong. Laura Frisinger. Jacob Grove. Natalie Piper. Sohee Lee. Tiffany Lane. Ashley Harrison. Morgan Shiflett. Brittany Kendrick. Okay, from the 5th grade, these are your A, B, green and gold honor roll winners. Let's give them a great big hand. Nice job. Everybody see all of our Eagle honor roll winners. From Ms. Pollock's class, 4th grade, Lauren Farage. From Ms. Cole's class, Katie Beth. Jason Smith. From Ms. Bush's class, Matthew Seaberger. Shanice Singleton. Elisa Sortino. And William Pearson. From Ms. Walker's class, Wendy Torres. Jennifer Morgan. Diana Haggerty. Jeremy Anderson. And from Mr. Mack's class, Stephanie Burks. These folks, for the second 9-week period, made straight A's in everything. Let's give them a huge hand. Nice job. Nice letter.
Josue Neves, Sopetra Long, Tim Tran, Heather Jordan, and Joseph Vale. These are the bug winners in 4th grade. They brought up 1 grade at least. Good job, you guys. Ms. Lewis, do you know if you have any bug awards? You have them downstairs? Okay, boys and girls who are in Miss Lewis's class, when you get your bug awards, you make sure you come back to my office so that you can get your stickers and everything. Miss Jones's class, Quincy Burrell, Daniel Colbert, and Erica Green. Jeremy Anderson, Tyrone Johnson, Diana Haggerty, Jennifer Morgan, Aaron Olander, Jarrell Jenkins. No? Oh. Jason Abed, Wendy Torres, and Camille. And from Mr. Mack's class, Mr. Malik. And these are the bug winners from the 5th grade. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, there's two things that struck me particularly about this assembly. Number one is that almost everyone here got something, which really makes me happy. And if you didn't get something, I want you to really work to get one that get.
I have two students that worked extremely hard and managed to elevate themselves to shining stars this grading period, but only through their own hard work. Nothing else did it. That is Antonio Gillis, who's not here right now, and Rashida Smith, who is. Rashida, come on up.
Mrs. Slater. Boys and girls, I know it's hot. We'll get finished sooner if you won't take a break and start talking. So we'll get this done. We'll let you out so you can get cooled off. Perfect attendance for Mr. Shelton's class. Antoine Vaughn. I have to stop. That's better. Rashida Smith, Torrance Runda, Abish Khan, Lindsay Goddard, Monique Corbin, Brittany Copeland, Pooja Marushka, Aniza Ahmed, Monica Abed, Rachel Hartman, look at all these students who didn't miss a day in the second portion. Congratulations to all of you. Pay attention so you hear your name. Let's begin with Mr. McCurdy's class, Lindsay Allen, Aaron Brown, Terrence Clark, William Jackson, Ashley Mazzell, Tamina Parvez, Daniel Perrin, Ashley Peterbar, Eric White. All of these students are Mr. McCurdy's, and we're going to continue calling. Mrs. Slater's green and gold. These are all A and B students. Ricky Wilkins, Lauren Rhodes, Natasha Luise, Caitlin Lemons. Where's Natasha?
She moved, but I'm proud of her, and I wanted her name said.
Rachel Dutha. Troy Carter. Kanita Ballard. Mrs. Merkel, green and gold. Jennifer Hudson. What's your lady? Jennifer Thompson. Jordan Keating. Our line is getting longer. Franny Smart. Boys and girls, we're talking again. Sit down on your bottoms, please, and listen up. Bottom. Melanie Processel. Ms. Merkel's class, Amanda Good. Allison Goddard. Alex Clark. Rachel Barnes. Have everybody situated for one more class? Line's getting long, lots of third grade green and gold. Starting with Mr. Sheldon's class, Rachel Hartman, Sean Sowers. Getting talky, folks. Eric Peterson, Jasmine Najera, Andrew McCarrick, Sophia Long, Lindsay Goddard, Brittany Copeland. Just keep going. Ben, Monica Abbott. Congratulations to all of our third grade green and gold honor roll. Let's be seated very quickly. We have one more award, and it's very special. Sit down on your bottoms, please. People out there, look at all the awards we've given out. Special. Okay. Let's see who gets